Awareness Week and Mental Health Awareness Week. This is our last day, but it does not have to be the last day that we talk about it, that we keep communication open for our public. And I'll tell you what, Tammy, I had a call last night. We had softball, and so I was really just, we had some technical difficulties, and that happens in radio. But during that technical difficulty, I got a phone call that was about our week that we had had. And this was somebody traveling to Florida, and they just wanted us to know that this meant a lot to them listening in this week. And they were heading on vacation for a fall break. And they said, you know what? This was awesome because we talked about something that people don't do. They don't talk about it. So it gets conversations going and it gets help going. And Tammy, what a lineup this week of people and guests that come by.
Wow.
But I want to tell you, you brought in somebody that I don't know how you can get. I mean, I try to call this guy and I can't get him. He's got so many people that I'm just kidding.
He's a busy man.
He is.
He's a
He is.
busy man, and has a very respectable position.
Yes, he
You
does.
know, to take care of our community.
He does.
You know, to keep us safe.
And it's a 24/7. If you know Darren Scarborough, it lives, eats, breathes what he does. And if you see him, he's running, he's talking, he's got two phones.
Tireless work.
Yeah,
Tireless work.
and just always going. But today we do have Darren Scarborough here, Chief Deputy with our Elbert County Sheriff's Office, and we also have many other guests here too. Somebody from my childhood is here, Dan Fernandez. He went with Dan, I went with Stan. So that as we got older, the pastor, he's the pastor of Northside Baptist. And Tammy, we also have another guest.
Yes, Miss Allison Warren is the director of our youth specialty program at Advantage today. And then we have a very special call-in that'll be coming in for testimony today, and that is Courtney Wright. And she'll be joining us here in a bit, but she has an impactful story
Awesome.
that everybody might want to tune in and listen to.
Awesome.
For that.
Well, I love this week. We've learned some things like process. We've
Yes.
learned the 988 number that I never knew about until this week.
Yes.
And we've learned to meet people where they are without judgment,
Right.
which is huge. These are things that I've learned this week.
Right.
And this topic, in the last 3 years, this has been a tough world. And we learned that suicide went up 30%
Wow.
in that last 3 years.
Wow.
And so this week, Mental Health Awareness Week, we want to talk about that because we want people to know there is hope. We want people to write it on your refrigerator, 988.
Right.
You may not need it today, but if somebody needs it. But it's okay to talk about it. It's okay to say, I need help.
Right.
It's okay to reach out.
A real man says, I need help.
Come on.
Because if you don't,
Wow.
you're not there for your loved ones.
Right.
You start crumbling
Yeah.
at the core. And if you don't take care of yourself, then you can't take care of the ones you love, right?
That's right. That's right. Well, look, as we focus on this and mental health, something we don't talk about, but something this week that we're wanting to bring awareness to. But it is something that affects all areas of life and all that. And of course, law enforcement. That is something that they never know what you wake up each day. You put on your uniform. You go to work. You don't know what is entailed in that day. But it is something that happens there too. But it's also something where that's why we want to talk. We don't want to right now. Find somebody to help. Find somebody trustworthy to help. But we do have Darren Scarborough here, Chief Deputy of the Sheriff's Office, and Darren, thank you for coming in today. So,
Yes, sir.
And you mentioned earlier this week our heroes. You know, Darren, you're a local hero to us.
yes,
You are.
That's right.
And when you put on your clothes, you never know what you're going to face that day, but you face it with strength and wisdom and dedication, and that's very important to our community and important to the mental health awareness community as well. So thank you for being with us this morning, and I'll let you share a little bit.
Well, thank you. I don't look at myself as a hero because I love my job and I love serving the people of this community. Born and raised here, I've lived here all my life. I don't reckon I'll ever live anywhere else. But Tammy, you said something. So a real man says he has a problem. So we've always been taught two things. You've got to admit that you have a problem to get help. And, we see mental health pretty much on a daily basis throughout our community. people that we deal with. And I talked to Tammy yesterday, and I had to apologize because I'm gonna have to cut my segment short. But I, and the sheriff's office want to be a part of helping our community, and that's what I want to do. I told Tammy that I will. We were talking outside that the preacher and I were talking about running because that seems to be our hobby for now, doesn't it, sir? Um, so she had talked about a mental health walk that they are trying to put together. Um, I think you would have an overwhelming success if you've done that.
Right. That'll be in the month of May for Mental Health Awareness Month, and so we have here in Elbert County some time to coordinate that in a great way. And with your support, along with Pastor Dan here and the community stand the man and the community at large, I know it will come together so well for Elbert County, and just another way to continue our awareness from Mental Health Awareness Week here in October rolls over into the Mental Health Awareness Month in May. So I appreciate that.
Well, it takes every one of us to put a piece in the puzzle to make it work. And I said again, I sound like a broke record. I want to put my piece into the puzzle because Tammy and I were talking out in the lobby. We can sit back and complain all day, but if we don't do something about it, what have we accomplished?
Right.
So I want to be able to put my piece into the puzzle. So I'm willing to help you.
I appreciate that. We have a charge from the state. Our CEO, Tammy Conlon, the CEO of Advantage, has a charge to integrate in our communities and have our local law enforcements at the table. We've got Chief Scott Mornich. We invited Darren here, who, I know Darren cares about his community. I know he cares about the mental well-being of his community. And I know we can depend on Darren to be at that table to better communicate. We have a broken system, and the state is now acknowledging that we have a broken system. And so they're calling us to the table, work together with our community, with all of our collaboration and resources. It really takes us all to figure these things out. But the people in Elbert County are bright. They're brilliant. They can come up with some plans and partner with these partners to make this work for our community. What's best for the sheriff's department, what's best for the police department, what's best for the entities at large, and most of all, what's best for the citizens of Elbert County. That's
Right.
what's important. Chuck Allman came in here and told us suicide rates in Elbert County has increased 30 to 40% since
2020.
2020.
That's just 3 years.
That's 3 years. Y'all, we don't want to lose one more
No.
Elbert County resident
Right.
to suicide. We want people to know that we're here, that we are compassionate, and we're going to meet them where they are without judgment and help them lead the best
It
life
is
they
okay
can.
to talk to somebody.
It is okay.
To say, hey, I need
is
help.
okay.
Yeah.
Right.
And I want to mention that number too, the crisis number 988, just like you would call 911.
Yes.
If but there's always hope, and I just want to tell, there's always hope. There's always something. There's a light at the end of a tunnel somewhere, and just keep searching. Find trustworthy friends around you, and that light will come to. And so, but I'm glad we've done this week because it's a topic that people just don't want to talk about, in a way. And so, this week we get to talk about it. And mental health, we know about numbers that people are talking. So when you say 1 out of 5 or that 30, a lot of people still don't talk, and we hope this week will help create awareness for that.
Right. Additionally to the 988 number, again, we said this all week. Mental health is not it's not a Monday through Friday 9 to 5 issue. It's a 24/7 issue. And the 988 National Crisis Hotline gives us a resource. We also have local resource here in Elbert County, right over on Chestnut, across from the hospital. Our local clinic, and the number is 706-213-2048. You can go over and see Miss Suzanne, the clinician lead there, or Kim, who is the operations manager. They receive walk-ins Monday through Friday at 8:30. So if someone's having a situation and they don't want to leave home, town, go right over there and have that. And then the centralized scheduling number is 1-855-333-9544. But if all else fails, remember the easy one, 988.
Awesome. And 988, write that on your refrigerator. Put it in your phone, as they said yesterday. Put it in your phone. And but 988 is something just like 911. But if you're in a crisis situation, to call that number and that national hotline crisis number, because it's good to have this information out there for you, a loved one, a family member, for someone, because this is something real. And I've learned a lot this week, Tammy. I mean, a lot that I did not know, and things that help to process. And that is the key word for this week for me was process. And we hope someone else, but different people, like the phone call I got last night, have gotten different things out of this week.
Right.
So,
And parents, encourage your children young to, if they feel it, process it. That way it's not suppressed down that they have a mental breakdown at some point from all the suppression of feelings and emotion. Talk with your children at the dinner table. Stan, I know you
I love the
mentioned
dinner. That's when me and Jake, he's here right now, but that's when we get to talk is when we eat, and I make sure we do that every night together.
process your day.
And so, and I'm gonna tell you, I think that's the best mental health. I'm being honest. Is that time together? We end up talking about. He's here, so I can't talk about it. But if there was a girlfriend, some issue, we might laugh about, but it could be serious. But we also talk about goals and life ambitions. And hey, Dad, I can't figure this out. Well, what is it? Let's figure it out right here. And so you do that. And all the meantime, he's learning to cook during this. You hear what I'm saying? He's cooking. I'm a winning. I'm just kidding. But that's good times. I don't know where he's at, but he's in the building. I hope it's all right to. I love that dude. He's also a runner like Darren, so he hits those 5 and 7 miles where I'm just trying to make 2. So, Danny, you remember when it was like just try to make 2 miles?
Listen, I tell you.
And can we talk about mental health and how that works with it? Walking? I want to tell you this. I'm not where these guys are, but there is something that comes. Darren, there's something that happens when you're out walking, and you feel better. Yes and no?
Yes. Yes.
Or did you start hurting?
I wasn't avoiding your question. I was thinking. So, to me, my walk/run in the afternoon is my stress reliever.
Yeah.
I tell everybody when I'm out here, we deal with a lot during the day.
Right.
And I get to
breathe. Yeah.
So they say, well, what do you think about when you're running? I think about one thing.
Run.
Breathing.
Just making sure you can breathe. Making sure you can breathe.
You're right.
Yeah.
Find something that is a stress reliever to you, because
where you can let go.
A lot of times this stuff just gets bottled up and bottled up and bottled up, and you think, I just can't take it anymore.
Right.
And I think that's where the problem begins. But find something that is a stress reliever. It doesn't have to be running. It can be golfing or disc golf or whatever your stress reliever is. Find something to relieve that stress, and I think it will help you.
That's right. And I know one morning that I had got up like on a Saturday, and I was like, you know what, this would be a good day I don't have anywhere to go. So I was like, this would be a good day to just like hang around later. But then something told me, like, no, you need to go ahead and get out there. I got more done that day by going and doing 3 laps down in the city park. I went down there, did a walk, came back. I'm sitting here washing clothes. I'm like sweeping, and I'm like, what's going on? Who am I?
It's those endorphins.
That's what I'm saying. It starts to.
Yes, it is helpful to exercise.
And I still have a dream. My goal for 2024, which we hadn't got to yet, is one day I want to be jogging, and Darren's out there, and I just want to jog about, not to not speak, but just to go by him, and he goes, "Is that Stan?" It's like Frady. I think Stan just passed me. I mean. If it'll happen, we'll see. I don't know. I don't know. It may, but it can happen. It will happen. Yeah, it can happen. I thought it'd be fun. And my goal, by the way, is just 3.2 miles. I want to jog it without hesitation. So
Start off
We'll
and take
count
one
on
step
all of
more
y'all.
tomorrow.
yeah, that's right.
We'll count on all of y'all in May. We can get a picture of you running together.
That's when the
at
walk.
the Mental Health Awareness
All right.
Walk. in
Well, I tell you
Denver.
what, that's where like we'll do. Is that gonna be a
That's right.
3.2 or just a walk?
Hey,
Is-
it'll
it-
be. It's going to be a certified race. I've been talking with.
Oh, it's a
Carol.
5K.
I've been talking with Carol at Classic.
Sign me up. I'm in. I'm in.
3.11.
Carol is going to help us with the race with Classic City Race, and
Oh,
you know,
yeah,
we'll
she's
be on
good.
the circuit. So yeah, for me.
That is awesome. So that will be an awesome thing. So I still got to work on my eating habits. Like I'm good at it basically. But anyway, yes.
If-
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank y'all again, Miss Tammy. I'm sorry that I had to run. But
Thank you for taking the time of your
Yes.
busy schedule,
Absolutely.
and
I was glad
moreover
to.
for your support.
Thank
and
you.
for the support of mental health awareness and the support here in Elbert County and your community in regards to mental health awareness. And we'll be meeting at the table and working some collaboration out to help these citizens and make a better system.
Thank you so
Thank you.
much.
We
I'm sorry. I
appreciate
had
Well,
to go.
thank you, Darren,
Thank you.
Chief Deputy for the Sheriff's Office, and Tammy. I'm telling you, we have a really great Sheriff's Office because there's so many folks that you don't realize what they're doing behind the scenes, but working hard, trying to make a better tomorrow for everybody, a safer tomorrow for everybody,
Right.
and they're always working. I mean,
Oh yeah.
the turkey and dressing was at the hospital yesterday, and I'm not going to name the officer, but I texted an officer and it was like, where are? But he was working a case,
Right.
a call. So they're always working, and we just appreciate the sheriff's office. So and thanks to Darren for that time
Absolutely.
today.
If I can go back just a moment to the exercise and its relationship with mental health, before I say what I'm about to say, let me just make it clear. Please don't just stop taking your medication and go out for a walk. Have a good conversation with your doctor. But for me, I was on antidepressants for about 10 years, and they worked. They did what they were supposed to do. But for me, the side effects were not good, and I really wanted to come off of them if I could. So I'd heard and read that regular exercise with your heart rate up at a certain level for 30 minutes a day had the same effect on your brain chemistry as some of the medications. So I gave it a shot, and it worked for me. Just get your heart rate up, get sun on your skin, get air in your lungs, like Darren said, and it does an amazing job of balancing you out, especially with the depression issues. So give it a shot. Do it in addition to whatever you're doing. Whatever your mental health treatment plan is, do it, but add that to it, and it cannot do anything but help. The side effects of exercise are all good. You might be a little
Absolutely.
sore, but you'll do fine.
You are right about that, Dan. And you know, there's nobody in the field of mental health that wants to keep someone trapped in a medication
Right.
world. You know, our goal would be for each of our individuals that we service to invest in their self-care.
Right.
Exercise is a huge component of that. And those that can invest that time, you know, again, those endorphins can help in many ways. And as Dan suggested, it's not wise just to go off your
No,
medication and say, I'm going to heal this with walking, but do it in conjunction with your care from your professional. And it might be that you could taper that down and eventually come off of those medication. That would be a win-win for absolutely everyone.
Right.
For me, it worked, but for some,
Right.
it may just be a good addition to what they're already doing.
I like something else Pastor Dan said. He mentioned sunshine.
Oh.
So not only is that exercise, getting out, but you're breathing that air, getting that oxygen. But then the sunshine, which plays a role too. So it's,
We need sunshine to metabolize vitamin D in our bodies, which you have to have, and it's part of your mood stabilizers too.
yeah.
That's right.
So
And
that's-
most physicians will tell you in our country, a lot of people need vitamin D supplement because that we're not in the
right.
sunshine as
Right.
much as we need to. And when you get out in the sun and you just see the creation and the beauty of the world that we've been given, it can be healing. You know, that's one reason I wanted to host the walk at Sutton Park
Yeah.
because what a beautiful setting
Right.
for a walk.
Yes.
You know, we
Yeah.
have walks at track fields, and that's all great. But wow, Elbert County has Sutton Park.
It's that
It's
is wonderful.
beautiful.
And it got resurfaced this year. It got resurfaced this year, and many thanks to the city. And that's where Jake and I do most of what we do. And obviously Jake's my son's in way better shape than I am. I mean, but I'm getting there one day at a time. And,
Keep going, brother.
yeah,
Keep going.
Danny saw me one day. I don't know if he remembers, but
Yeah.
I was huffing and puffing, and
I've
Jake
been looking for you.
Jake was just out there just laughing while he was running.
He's young.
but you know that asset is good for your mental health. I mean, our city has prepared this, and
is.
so it's something to be grateful for.
You don't have
something
to pay for it.
Yeah.
It's free.
And
Yes,
then we
absolutely.
have that Rotary Pavilion. How
Yes.
nice is that? The
There's a water
Rotarians-
fountain there too, by the way.
Rotarians
Yes.
built that nice pavilion, and it's just, oh wow, Elbert County's so blessed.
That's-
Are we not?
We are.
We are blessed.
We
And,
truly are.
and blessed to have Dan here. I mean, as a pastor, you know, a man of faith to get up and have the courage and the wisdom to, open their hearts and minds of mental health awareness
Yes.
and to try to stamp out stigma. Pastors have a flock, right? They have a
Right.
congregation of people who trust them.
Yes.
And when they are educated and aware of mental illness and mental health, they can share that it's okay
You're
to
right.
get the help that they need. They would feel like that they've been confirmed that it's okay by their leader to reach out for help. I'm sure Dan feels like, as a pastor, one man, he can pray over his congregation, but he might not have the psychology needed and that's a lot of burden on a pastor for a congregation full of people. And we all have problems. Did we not say that yesterday?
That's right. Everybody.
If we say we don't have problems, are we being honest? Because we all have them in
Right.
some sort of way. But if we take those and put them on the shoulders of our pastors, it can be overwhelming to the pastor too.
Right.
So it's good to have pastors that can recognize professional help is available, and in addition to their prayer over their individuals together, there's professional treatment. And what a wonderful combination for
Yeah.
individuals to be allowed to have their faith
Right.
and have professional treatment. If we have a broken leg, as you said,
Yeah.
we don't, patch it up. We send them to the physician to get that cast, right?
Right.
It's the same kind of thing, same concept, just in a behavioral health method. And so I'm thankful for Dan and pastors alike him. I know Kevin was in here earlier
Yes.
with Rock
yes.
Branch, and Kevin, I hope we're going to come on our team for the walk to prepare the walk and get it prepared for the county.
By the way, he had to go because he is serving food, and one of the folks is not going to be able to, so he was heading out to.
Yeah,
to do
he
that.
is serving food actually at the golf tournament for
is.
the Elbert Memorial Hospital, in which I serve on. So
That's
we
right.
will excuse Kevin
That's
because
right.
he's doing a good deed for the hospital today.
Yeah.
But we know Kevin's heart, and we know he's on board
That's right.
with mental health awareness. But the pastors coming in together, in addition to the community and the organizations, to build such a walk can be extremely impactful
yeah.
in Elbert County. So we appreciate that. And Dan, I will say one more thing. Dan opened the doors to his church, Northside, because I'm sure it wasn't just because of his wife, Mary, being the program director of Discovery Center, because I know Dan would have done this for any of us. But they are having some improvements
Yeah.
over there that we've been working on all week to try to raise some funding
That's
for.
right.
And I'd like to just take this opportunity to thank Allison and Kevin Rice of Keystone Granite Interiors, who donated the granite countertops for this space
Awesome.
to allow
Awesome.
these individuals served to have some cooking skills and
Yeah.
teach in that way. And then also Stan the Man. And here at WSGC,
What?
they are providing the paint supplies to paint that facility. So we're working on right now getting some funding
Yeah.
to come in if people will donate funding to pay the painters.
There you
The
go.
professional painters that we've got to come in, we've got to meet a deadline for a certification
Yeah.
coming up at the end of the month. So we're trying to get that in. And if anyone would like to donate to that, please go to www.friendsofadvantage.org. But while they are out and
And
having their
how do you
painting,
donate again? Tell me that.
www.friendsofadvantage.org.
Okay.
And while they are working on the building, Dan and Northside opened the doors to the church to allow the individuals served to come into the day program at their site.
Oh, cool.
Wow.
That
I
is
mean,
awesome.
what a
Glad to help.
partner. What
Glad
a
to help.
partner. And so, if each church, faith-based is so important to us in our mission. And if each church would consider what they could do in some way, could they volunteer time? Could they pass the plate? Could they do a monthly mission for Friends of Advantage? And let me just make this promise to you. Whatever you give for Elbert County will stay in Elbert County for these programs specifically. This is my hometown. I want to see it as best it can be, but it takes a community. It takes a community.
Yeah.
And, the most common misperception is the state takes care of everything. It just simply doesn't.
Right.
We appreciate what they do, but we have to have the community's help. So, Dan, hats off to you for being the man you are, for being the pastor you are, and for being the example that you are and the role model.
Well, thank you. On the issue of Northside opening the doors, I've got to say that there was an arrangement made that predates me. That was made with Pastor David McConnell years ago. We agreed to be the emergency backup location for the Discovery Center. So I want a big shout out to Pastor David for setting that up.
Wow.
So that goes back even before you were married.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Well, I don't know if it goes back before Mary, but it goes back before me at Northside.
Yeah.
I
Isn't
know
that neat
David
how
set
God
that up.
works? Because
Seeds-
his wife is
Seeds are
yeah.
planted.
Yeah.
So
Seeds are planted.
that's-
Yes.
One quick thing about from being a pastor, if we preach the whole Bible, we preach stories of people in the Bible that dealt with mental health issues. Elijah dealt with depression. David, King David, wrestled with depression, and in those words in the Bible, you see the struggle they went through. So you cannot separate mental health and faith health. If we're going to be a whole person,
Right.
we got to attack it together. So.
Right.
Yeah, can I add one more thing? I also, as my years as a therapist have taught me that many people go to their faith-based organizations as a place to get connection for linkage to resources, or what do I do about this problem that I'm having? So this is a great place to link them up with the care when we have our pastors and on board with this mission that we're trying to do.
I love that. I love it. We need to talk to her more.
Yes,
And but first, folks, this is just part of radio. What we have to do, we need to take a short commercial break. But we have more guests to talk to, and we even have someone on our phone line that will be coming in with us as well. We're going to take a short break. It's Mental Health Awareness Week, and that is what this hour in Community Spotlight are about. We're going to take a short break, but we'll be right back right here with more guests and more communication as we open up about mental health and mental health awareness. That coming up right after this. Hey, this is Stan the Man, and I'm here at Dean's Grocery with Buck Dean himself. Francis Dean Drive is where you need to put it in your phone and head on down here for some great cook-to-order food. Buck Dean, I know you got that triple stack burger, but what else is cooking in the kitchen?
Okay, yes, we have the triple stack. We have the slot dog, chili dog, pork chop, double cheeseburger, catfish. We have a little some of everything. So y'all come on out to Dean Grocery. You cook the order. While you wait, just shoot your game of pool while you're waiting on your food. It'll be hot and fresh when you get it.
I'm telling you what, y'all, Dean's Grocery is where to go. Call in that order at 706-318-8862. That's 706-318-8862. We here, and we about to get that catfish sandwich. Come on out and get your 2 chili dogs and fries. It's all here at Dean's Grocery, Francis Dean Drive in Elberton.
Hey, this is Kate at Hometown Butcher, located on 7127 Royston Highway, also known as the Gold Mine Community. We have a great selection of quality meat products, fresh quality meats cut your way every day at Hometown Butcher. Everything to ribeyes to fresh ground sausage. We also carry a variety of seafood, jellies, jams, and more. If you have a question or a special order, you can call us at 706-376-7828. That's 706-376-7828. Come on by and see us at Hometown Butcher, 7127 Royston Highway.
King's Monument is hiring. King's Monument Company, 1134 West Tate Street in Elberton, is hiring. Looking for someone to run a Ray Wilson slab polisher and marker saw. Job also includes overseeing marker saw plant. Apply in person to Marty at King's Monument Company, 1134 West Tate Street in Elberton.
Now, your Granite Country forecast from the WSGC 24-hour Weather Center. Sunshine for our Friday forecast. Highs in the low 80s. Will be partly cloudy and cool tonight with lows in the mid-50s. Tomorrow for Saturday, a pleasant day with sunshine. It'll be breezy with a high of 72, but look out. Saturday night, very cool. Our lows will be in the mid-40s. Sunday, we've got sunshine and a high of 68. I'm Georgia meteorologist Laura Huckabee in the GNN Weather Center.
Whether you're on the way to work, the Blue Devils game, or a party, turn us up. We're 105.3 WSGC.
And we are back with more about mental health and mental health awareness right now here on WSGC. Our big thanks to Tammy Dalton with Advantage and all that she does and all the connections that she has brought in this week as well. And what a week that we've had, just to open up communication, to find out about meeting people where they are, learning things about process and processing, and being able to share with trustworthy and loved friends. And 988, the number for crisis. So we've learned a lot. Tammy, we also have Allison before the break brought out some key information that was really good. I know that we have somebody on the phones, so right now we do want to bring them in to make sure that we're connected. Right. And let's go to our phone lines right now, and I think we have Courtney Wright standing by. Let's see. Courtney, can you hear us?
Good morning, everybody.
It works.
Hi, Courtney. Welcome, and thank you for taking time of your busy day to be with us here in Elbert County this morning to share your amazing journey.
Thank you. Thank you.
Well, look, I know that we have Allison here, and Allison, you were just sharing some information earlier about how churches can play that role, and we've talked about exercise, but not everything fixes everything, but learning these type things are a huge part of finding solutions. Right. And Danny, whenever he mentioned sunshine, I thought, how many times, because I can remember a time where I was not feeling well, I was dealing with a tick illness, but I was in a room with closed blinds, and I didn't feel good.
Right.
But I remember the day I realized I could get up and open the blinds. Y'all, everything changed. I mean, it was just like, wow, there's sunshine out there. So it is out there. And Tammy, can you introduce our guest on the phone?
Yes, Courtney Wright has a really amazing story. I learned her recently and her success with Walton Empowers, but I wanted that to come into Elbert County because her story is so real. It's just impactful, and people need to hear the story and how she has taken a journey to the positive level. Wow. She has made a real, and it actually involves Advantage, and I didn't even know that until I heard her story. But it's amazing how the connections over the years, how it impacts people for the better, for their lives. And Courtney made the right decision in turning to, professionals for help, and then, improving herself. So Courtney, I'd like for you to share your story, if you would.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much. I'm going to share my story, and then if we can just have a conversation. I get a little bit nervous, so I'm going to share it first, and then we can just kind of have a conversation afterwards.
Sure.
So good morning, everyone. My name is Courtney Wright. I'm 34 years old and was born on June 10th, 1989. I was raised in a small rural town called Monroe, Georgia. I was born into a family with both parents, an older sister, and an older brother. I'm the baby of the family. Both of my parents were addicted to drugs and alcohol at a very young age. Therefore, my grandparents willingly took custody of my siblings and I when we were just young children. For the most part, I had a fun and loving childhood. My grandmother was like my mother and did an exceptionally good job at creating a sense of normalcy in our life. Due to my parents' absence, it made me question a lot of things, like why they were gone and why they didn't love me and my siblings enough to come home, why we weren't enough for them. I felt very sad, angry, lonely, isolated, and unloved as a young girl. I internalized those feelings throughout my childhood. The first time I tried anything to change the way that I felt was when I was 6 years old and I stole a piece of a cigarette butt out of my parents' ashtray in the living room. By 12 years old, I had smoked weed for the first time with my mother. I came home from middle school one day and had just broken up with my boyfriend and was crying, thinking that my life was over. Go figure, I knew so much about love at 12 years old. Well, my mother was outside smoking a joint and handed it to me and said, "Smoke this and it will make you feel better." It wasn't necessarily the drug that got me so much as it was the message and the impression that it sent to me as a young girl that if I didn't like the way that I felt, I could take or do something to change it. By age 14, I had tried most drugs, and by 15 years old, I had met a guy that would eventually become the father of my son. He came to our house to sell my mother marijuana, and eventually we began to hang out, ride around together, and smoke weed. It did not take long for the physical, verbal, and emotional abuse to start, and before I knew it, I was pregnant with my son and gave birth to an amazing redheaded little boy named Jacob on June 7, 2006, 3 days before my 17th birthday. He was my blessing and miracle. My drug use and the physical abuse quickly escalated and worsened after the birth of my son. I wanted a way out, and I wanted to live differently, but I just did not know how or where to begin. I could have gone back home, but to what? To a house where everyone was using drugs and passed out all day, or the opposite. They were without drugs and withdrawing and sick all day. That was miserable. And if I had a choice, I would rather just stay with my husband and accept the physical and emotional abuse, knowing that my drug habit would be supplied. Little did I know that life as I knew it was about to change forever. On September 10, 2008, my husband and I were partying the night before, told each other good night, and went to bed. When I woke up, he was non-responsive and dead in the bed beside me from a drug overdose. In that moment, I knew that my life had changed forever. I don't think I understood death until I experienced it firsthand. I quickly knew that I had to fight. I had to fight not only for my life, but for my son's life. I knew at that point it was up to me to make sure that my son grew up in a safe, caring, and loving environment. After my husband passed away, I immediately began working on improving my life. I went into an outpatient program at Awaeness Behavioral Health Systems in Monroe, Georgia, and successfully completed it within a few months and was able to get custody of my son back. But that was short-lived, and just after 9 months, I relapsed on smoking weed. I told myself that I was only going to smoke on the weekends. However, I did not miss a day until I landed back in treatment December of 2009 with yet another open defect case. I knew something had to change this time. I was sick and tired of living the way that I was living. I went to Awaeness Behavioral Health 45-day intensive inpatient program and then transferred to a women and children's long-term treatment facility in Dublin, Georgia, where I went back to college and earned my GED while in that program. I graduated from there in May of 2010 and went back home to Monroe to begin my new life in recovery. I immediately hit the ground running and rented a small house that my son's great-grandmother owned and purchased a used car with the help of my family. I started a 6-week program to become a certified nursing assistant, and the day after I passed my exam and earned my CNA license, I began working in a dementia unit at a local nursing home. My time at that job taught me compassion, empathy, and how to care and love others. I love being able to make people smile. Today, I can proudly say that I'm a woman in long-term recovery. In 2014, I applied to become a CARES, which is a Certified Addiction Recovery Empowerment Specialist. And after that, I started working for the very treatment center at Advantage where I once attended as a client. I was able to start my own medical billing and coding business and was able to learn how to become an amazing mother that is present and consistent in my son's life. I learned not only how to love myself, but how to love other people in a healthy way. Recovery has allowed me to achieve so much. Today, I'm a homeowner, a business owner. I've been able to purchase a new car, and just within the last year, I've been able to start a recovery community organization called Walton Empowers in the town that I was once told by DFACS that if I stayed there, I would not be able to stay clean. Well, guess what? Today, I have over 13 years in recovery. I'm the co-founder and executive director of Walton Empowers Addiction Recovery Support Center. Now I use my lived experience to show other peers that recovery and wellness are possible and should be the expectation. My life goals are to be able to provide a welcoming and safe environment for people to get and stay well and to knock down the barriers and stigma attached to addiction and mental health. Thank you.
Wow. 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 You are amazing.
That's the kind of story you want to hear.
Thank you.
It's very
Thank you.
encouraging. It gives people hope.
Yeah.
You know, Courtney, to hear your story, when I heard your story, I said, you know, I want more people to hear Courtney's story. It gives me hope to know that there's hope for other people that may be facing those trials that you faced, that may be walking in the shoes that you've walked. And no better way to witness is to share your lived experience and help other people support them. You've been there, you've done that, and
Wow.
you've got that T-shirt, and you can help other people.
That's right.
So thank you for taking the time for that. It's every time I hear it, I still shed tears every single time to celebrate where you have chosen to come, and the blessings that's been bestowed upon you due to your choice of, focusing on your son, on what's most important in life, and
Yep.
taking care of yourself. That's important. We have to take care of ourselves
That's right.
in order to take care of our children, right, and our family.
That's
And,
right.
and you did that. You did that, and we celebrate that with you today.
Thank you. And just as you guys were talking this morning, I was just jotting some things down that came to mind. Like, there was a time that I had contemplated suicide, and I had a plan on how I was going to do it and everything. And now I look back and I thank God, because I would not be where I'm at today. I have a nonprofit. I'm able to employ people, which they're able to feed their families, and I give back to my community. I don't just take from my community today because of my recovery. I'm able to give back. I was incarcerated one time. There's a lot of things in my story that I just have kind of, I don't talk about a lot, but I think I need to share that because people need to know it doesn't matter if you've been incarcerated, if you've had your children taken, if you've wanted to, complete suicide. Like, there is hope. There is hope.
Wow.
Yeah.
What I mean, wow. That that is amazing, and thank you for sharing your story. Thank you for sharing your testimony. I feel like there's probably a lot of folks out there that needed to hear this today, and then we talk about, sometimes you want to like not talk about something or not let people know what you've been through because you want everything, but like this is awesome, and what a great story and testimony right here with
Thank
Courtney. So
Thank
that is awesome. That's like a sermon, really.
Right. Right.
It's like we don't went to church.
Healing.
Yes,
Healing.
that is right. And healing is a part. And sometimes you have to find that healing, but to always know there's hope.
That's right.
That's right.
And look at where all she said, where she's been, where she is now, and that she is a homeowner. She has done these things.
A CEO of
Yeah.
a business.
Come on now.
Yes.
Yes.
Celebrate
go,
this lady.
Go, Courtney. Go, Courtney.
You should see Stanley's doing his happy dance.
Thank you.
That's right. Way to go. Way to go. And so that is awesome. Allison, you had some words of wisdom a while ago. I just wonder there's more over here with Allison.
Absolutely.
So we need to get some more Allison
She's
wisdom.
full of good stuff.
Yes.
I've always got stuff to say about our youth
Yes.
and everybody, of
Yeah.
course. I couple things I want to highlight about youth. I'm the youth specialty director at Awaeness, and I'm constantly trying to figure out different ways we can help our youth feel more supported and what kind of programs we can come up with. What else can we do? 50% of all lifetime mental illness begins by age 14 and 75% by age 24. So we really need to understand that this is starting very, very early on. We even heard that in Courtney's story. And 1 in 10 young people under age 18 experience a mental health condition following a COVID-19 diagnosis as well. I mean, there's a lot of statistics coming out that are telling us the evidence here that youth need more support. And I just wanted to say and think about, for our community, how can we provide a safe space for youth to talk openly about the way that they're feeling, not suppressing those things, and make them feel more supported, validated. One trusted adult in a youth's life can reduce the risk dramatically for mental health conditions and substance use. So just thinking about how we can do those things.
Wow. And what ages do you work with, or what ages are youth? Like, yes.
Technically,
I'm just curious. Yeah.
3 to 18.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
Yeah. So at Awaeness, every one of our outpatient clinics, we have 6 of those in our 10 counties that we serve youth there as well. And you can come as early as 4 years old.
Wow.
And get services. So we want to encourage everyone to do that. We also have specialty programs in different areas of our counties that we serve that provide stuff like school-based counseling, our clubhouse, and our system of care program, which is kind of like case management for families, which is so important to fill those barriers and service gaps that families often need. It's really important to always work with the entire family system, and that's what we're trying to do here at Advantage.
Awesome. Well, so thankful for Advantage. I've learned so much about Advantage this week of the different ways and
Stan,
parts and pieces.
I've been with this agency
Yeah.
34 years.
Yeah.
I am still learning every day about Advantage. There is so many levels of
Wow.
care, so many. We have over 50 programs, over 10 counties
Yeah.
within this agency, and people just come to serve. Come to
Right.
serve and dedicate their lives to helping people.
Yeah.
And we have some really good people.
Thank y'all for what you do.
It's just, our staff never ceases to amaze me. All through COVID,
Yeah.
just like the hospitals,
Right.
we stayed open. Our doors, we had to see. People can't go off their
Needed you more than
psychotropic
ever.
medication.
Yeah. Needed you
Yeah,
more than
during
ever.
a pandemic,
Yeah.
more than ever. And we worked smarter. Telehealth came into play in a greater
That's
plane than we
wonderful.
ever saw it. And we figured out it works for people.
We did.
It works.
That's right.
Yeah.
Well, look, I mean, this is awesome, and I know our time. I tell you, this week has been incredible, and in each hour, being able to dedicate and have the guests that have been able to come in this week it's been amazing, and even the testimonies like Courtney's today is so awesome. But more than that, I'm praying and hoping that it's more of a conversation opener, a way that people can share, and a way that people can say, hey, you know what? This ain't as good as I need. I need a little help because, and to know that hey, if you're in a crisis, it's okay. It's okay, and to be there. But before we close out this hour, I do want to make sure everybody has anything that's like on their heart or anything to say because we got about 4 minutes remaining.
So is anyone else before I? Okay.
Just thank you for your support,
Wow.
Alberton.
Stan the man. I'm telling you, a whole week, an hour a day, he has opened his doors
That's right.
to this important cause of mental health awareness. And Stan, we cannot thank you enough.
Yes,
You may never know the
Wow.
people that you reach by opening those doors. You may never know that. You may hear from 1 or 2 or 3 or 10,
Yeah.
but you'll never know really the
right.
true value of opening your airwaves to start a conversation here
That's
in Elbert
right.
County.
Well, that's
and
what
it's
we want.
touching.
Yeah.
Yeah, Monroe
That's what we
here. It's touched Florida. You said
And look, folks,
Tennessee.
yeah.
I mean, it's
Yeah.
touching people.
Oh yeah, we had a
across.
caller from Tennessee
did.
yesterday,
We did.
and then
Wow.
Florida last night.
Right,
So,
right.
and, while we're doing that, I'm just going to go ahead and click on the arrow, and we don't know where everybody's listening from, but on occasion, people share locations on a device, and so I'm going to see if I can tell right now where people are listening from. But we thank you for tuning in, and it's obviously we're Elberton, Athens, all the way to Atlanta. And all that, but we are in other places as well, and those are the folks, that we know
Is that
about.
Mobile, Alabama?
I think that's somewhere around the
Wow.
So you never know, and thank y'all for listening. Thank y'all for tuning in, and I hope that this is a conversation opener, and mental health awareness is what it's about. And look, we all have issues, and so this is important to all of us.
Right.
So.
And there's a couple of ways that you can help us out. We've got the Kendra Scott Percentage Week. They give back in honor this week of Mental Health Awareness Week. So if you like Kendra Scott jewelry, or if you want to buy somebody special a piece of jewelry, you can shop in the store at 196 Out Road, number 44 in Athens. If you don't want to leave town, you can shop online. It's at www.kendrascott.com, and you use code GIVEBACK, GIVEBACK with a hyphen, FALOE, and they will give us 20% of proceeds. Y'all, that's amazing because it's across the nation when you go online like that. We also want to remind everyone that before the mental health walk we build here in Elbert County in May, there's actually one planned in Madison County. Our anchors have been charged internationally by myself as the Anchor International Coordinator. The project is mental health awareness this year. And so the Anchors have partnered with Pilot Club of Madison County, and they will be hosting a walk on Sunday, October 22nd at 3 p.m. This walk will be at the Madison County High School track field at 600 Madison Street, Danielsville, Georgia. We invite Elberton to come to the one in Madison County. Chances are Madison County will come to Elbert County in May. That's the way it works. And these, yeah, and so we invite you to do that. There's a QR code, and Stan's got the form, the registration form on the website. But there, you can enter to walk for $25, and that includes a cool shirt. It's a really cool shirt. Awesome. And then for those that want to give in any way to help the programs in Elbert County or to help an individual who may just not have what they need to bridge the gaps in service with either insurance or lack of insurance or grants or government funding or family support, we ask you to go to www.friendsofadvantage.org.
Friendsofadvantage.org. Do that now. Friendsofadvantage.org.
Right.
And donate.
And those that don't want to get online and donate, we have another option. You can make a check out.
Okay.
An old-fashioned check.
Just the old time.
Yeah,
yes.
Just make it out to Friends of Advantage. Mail it to Friends of Advantage at Attention Tammy Dalton, and that's care of Advantage Behavioral Health at 50 Chestnut Street, Elberton, Georgia, 30635.
Awesome. And look, that money goes, it stays here. If you give it here, it stays here to help our local Advantage and all the different avenues that they have to offer service and help others. And it's just really incredible. Y'all, I can't believe how fast this hour comes, but it came very fast. But I want to say thanks to everyone. Allison, thank you today for coming. Pastor Danny Fernandez from Northside Baptist Church.
Thank you, brother. Appreciate
it. Thanks to Chief Deputy Darren Scarborough of our local sheriff's office. And look, those guys work, way more than anybody knows. They're always working behind the scenes. And also on the phone, Courtney Wright. Thank you to Courtney as well. Courtney, thank you so much for sharing today.
Well, thank you guys for having me, and thank you for everything that you do to support mental health and substance use.
It is. What a week we've had, Tammy. This has been awesome.
My heart is overjoyed. This is just a true blessing to me in the mission in which I serve.
Yeah.
To be able to be in my county and bring people to the table here
That's
at the
right.
radio station.
Yes.
Start conversation that's
it.
going to make a change in Elbert County for the better.
Amen.
And just know that there's help out there and there's hope, and just reach out for it. It's that simple. There's always people here wanting to meet you where you are without judgment.
That's right.
And help you be the best that you can be.
And there we are. Folks, this has been an awesome week. My thanks to Tammy Dalton and all the many guests that came through. And just know that there's a brighter day. I mean, any time that you may not know, there is a brighter day. There is hope. And 988 is the crisis number. Write that down. Put it in your phone. And remember to process. Process.
Yes.
That's a key word, is process.
Feel it, process.
So that's it. Look, it is Friday, y'all, and we want to thank you for tuning in. It is a football Friday, and the coaches show that normally would have ran in the 9 o'clock hour, it is about to run in your 10 o'clock hour right here on 105.3. So the coaches show with Shannon Jarvis, head coach of our Elbert County Blue Devils, is coming up next. And the golf tournament, if you hadn't bought your golf balls for the EMH Foundation, you can do that right now at Arrowhead Point Golf Course. So head on out there to buy those golf balls, and we'll have the shotgun start for the Jimmy Johnson tournament for EMH Foundation coming up. And I am getting on a helicopter to head that way right now, Kamari. So that is where I'm heading to, out to Arrowhead Point. So I'll see y'all there, and we'll see the golf ball dropping. Who wins? Is it John Hubbard? We shall find out. That is coming up in just a few minutes. I say smile till 10 o'clock, but it's 10, so smile till 11 o'clock. And the rest of the day will take care of itself. Thank y'all, and have a wonderful Friday, and go Big Blue.
The only stations you can hear classic country along with new modern country at the same time, so you get the best.